Happy Monday. How's it going today, Ken? You doing all right?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? How you doing? We're back.
Good.
We
Yeah, we
back. How are
are
you?
we are back. It has been a decent weekend. I feel like in FTs, not a whole lot's happened. We can talk about this a little bit later, but I do see the whole battle between Ethan Soul going on all over my Twitter feed. Today they got the OK Bears. Everybody's kind of been roasting. I know that's been out for a while. I don't know if you saw the not OK Bears dropped last night, and now everybody's raving. Just that want to remain on E. So I think it's kind of funny. They're literally just the OK Bears, but like flipped to where they're facing a different direction.
Yeah, yeah. It's
but
like
but
OX Bears, really.
yeah, but they're on ETH. The one cool thing is,
Wait, they're on ETH?
yeah, the not OK Bears are on ETH.
Oh, really?
It's like a
Okay.
meme. It's a derivative. It's a meme of like, hey, we're not going to go to Sol. We'll just create our own thing. And that's kind of been getting some traction. It's got like 350 ETH volume right now. Literally just flipped over facing the other way. I think it's kind of a funny thing, but all in all, man, we've been joking about it for the last few weeks, but it is kind of looking more and more like a Solana summer.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like they're about to force it. They're gonna make sure it's a Solana summer by all means. It seems like really, there's reptiles now in Solana.
Reptiles, yeah.
Ninjalerts need to track like Solana wallets, man.
I think that's
That
I think that's a long term plan, but I'm not sure how like easy it
okay.
is to integrate. But yeah, those reptiles ripped from I think they jumped up to like 35, 40 soul. Mint was like 5, I think. And the biggest surprise that I've heard yet was I think it was yesterday. Solana did 33% of OpenSea's volume, which
Really?
that's crazy. That's a lot of volume. One, it was one of the lowest OpenSea volume days that we've had in the last few months, but for it to be even that percentage really surprised me.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a Solana summer, man. It's already
It's
hot.
it's,
It's
it's
already
looking
hot.
like it. You see a lot of
Yeah.
influencers jumping on the bandwagon that have a lot of followers,
Hmm.
changing their PFPs to OK Bears or changing or just kind of like going through like Solana chain. So it seems that's where some of the money is moving. Obviously, like they're still that's kind of the comedy right now of this whole like Ethan Solana battle of like the not OK Bears and OK Bears and whatever. Like see a bunch of jokes going around like Solana's for poor people or whatever, but hey, I said it for a while, but like, got to chase the money, man. Whatever's hot.
Damn. Is it that same guy? Was it the something Soros? I forgot his name that
Yeah,
said if you
yeah,
don't have a 10K, $100,000
100K.
PFP, don't talk to me.
Yeah, nobody wants to tell them that
Yeah.
that eights are gonna be worth less than 100K in a couple months.
Well, hey, I didn't say that,
Nah, I'm just
but
kidding. I'm just
who
kidding.
knows?
But for real, it is kind of an ironic statement with the way the market's going. Yeah, that guy was ridiculous. He was trying to brag about how much he's done for the community when all he's done is paid somebody to do a mural in Austin, Texas that nobody knew about. like
Yeah, yeah, it's this elitism. Like I remember a while ago, not many people would remember when the apes were actually the underdogs. And a little while ago, they were the underdogs, and they were very against elitism until they became, until they became the elites. And this is just a sentiment from a. I mean, it's a small few, but it's still they're very loud. They're the
yeah,
leaders, so their voice
yeah.
is very loud and heard around the world. So
Thankfully, he did get slammed by a lot of other ape holders and pretty much everybody.
yes.
There's very few people that were like, "Yeah, I agree with you," but there were some out there, and he did a kind of a dumb apology. It wasn't really an apology. It was kind of like a half apology today. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's okay" or whatever. I'm just like, "No, forget that, dude. We don't need him in the space." Like,
We don't.
I don't know, man. It's not my thing when people downplay other people like that, especially if you got lucky. He bought his ape.
Yeah.
He bought his ape really early. I don't remember. I don't know if anybody officially knew when he bought his, but he even bragged about how early he was. So it's not like he spent
Mm.
100K on his PFP either.
Yeah, that's I mean, money just brings out, it magnifies who you really are. That's what it's looking like. A lot of these ape holders, they're really showing you who they really are after they've gotten, they've made it, quote unquote. So I don't want to talk about that guy. We don't even need to bring up what his name is. But how let's before we start all that, how was your weekend, Chris? Because I remember I remember, man, before this weekend, the whole week last week, he was just telling us, "Oh, I'm going out today. I'm going out this weekend. I'm going to the beach. You bum nerds ain't going nowhere." That's how I felt listening to you the whole week. How you just saying, you're just bragging about your weekend, man. So, how was your weekend, Chris?
Bro, it ended up pretty amazing. Like it had a bumpy start because the people that like we were going for a wedding and the people's wedding that it was actually both got COVID. So we ended up like
Oh,
not
shit.
being able to like do a lot of things that we had planned. But either way, it still ended up really fun. We got a paid for condo that was like on the beach. My
Nice.
father-in-law, we don't see him very often, but like he's a luxury kind of man, and he popped out a $800 bottle of bourbon. And then
Ooh,
I have
I saw that on Twitter,
yeah, it
Chris.
was
I
nice,
saw that. I think
man.
I saw that on
It
Twitter.
was
On
good. It
Twitter.
was so good. And then I have another somebody else who's married to the family. He's huge on cigars. He busted out these really expensive cigars. So yeah, man, we just chilled all
Cubans.
weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was quick, you know, because the drive there and drive back was far. But like, it was a great weekend. I really enjoyed it.
Nice, nice. At least you went outside, right? You
I
didn't
went
look at open
outside,
sea
man.
at
Yeah,
all, or
not really. I was eyeing a few things, and I kind of had some FOMO on the way there because I listened to a podcast with Gary in it, Gary V, and
your
and
man Gary
yeah, man,
V.
and I was just kind of like, uh, yeah, I just listened to him and like what he's trying to build, what he's trying to do, and I was like, man, I kind of wish I could buy a V Friend Series 2 right now, but I didn't bring like my laptop with me, and I don't really mint on my, I don't do
Mm,
stuff on my phone, so I almost did last night. I'm probably going to at some point during this week. Also, while we're on that, I don't know, man, I almost feel like if VCon's a success, I don't see why Series 2 will not go up, and I also see like that being the perfect opportunity for Gary to, if he wants to announce any type of utility for VFriend Series 2, that what a better time than a VCon. I do see maybe VFriend Series 1 possibly taking a hit because, I mean, one of the big pitches of it is the VCon tickets. But as far as Series 2 goes, other than the rest of the market dragging it down, like because we're in a bear market, I don't see how this couldn't be like bullish for VFriend Series 2. But I'm saying that as a non-holder. You know, I'm not trying, so we'll see.
mm-hmm. Please pump my bags, Chris. Please pump
Okay.
my bags, man. But yeah, I think what does the VCon has to do for you to call it a success?
That's a great
Like,
question.
what's your view of success for VCon?
Yeah, I feel like if people actually get their money out of it, honestly, at the end of the day, it's probably going to equivalent to like, did you have a good time? You know, did you network good, or did you like have fun? Did you get anything out of it? I feel like it's going to be harder for it to be a failure. I think the only way in my mind it could have been a failure is if like just not enough people showed up. You know, like what you see the
Mm.
jokes running around on like these NFT events all the time about how there's like more speakers than there are attendees, you know, and like I feel like
And it's a fact.
at that point, I wouldn't consider the event a failure, but it would be kind of weird, just to like be promoting this event for over a year and then just hardly anybody show up. I mean, that's big to swing, man. Going to what is it in Wisconsin? Um,
Yeah,
for
nobody goes there.
yeah, for an event that isn't around other events, because like at things like NFTLA, NFT NYC, like you have like other community events that you're looking forward to. So it's not like all banking on
Mm,
that one project. So like
that's true.
Gary's got to put a lot together to get an attendance. And I've even seen like somebody offered me a ticket last night. I've
Really,
even seen tickets
Chris?
being
You got
offered.
offered a ticket?
I considered it. I really considered it.
Okay,
But I
like
guess
you had
with
to pay, or was it like for free,
it
or
was for free. But I would have had to like obviously pay for like my plane and travel and stuff like that.
so so you wouldn't be able to flip that ticket though? Because I thought you was a DJ, Chris. What's going on?
I wouldn't. It was one of my friends. I wouldn't have accepted a
Oh,
free gift
you
from a friend to flip
if you
it.
was gonna sell it,
I'm a
okay.
DJ, but
You
I'm
got
still.
morals. You got
Yeah,
morals,
I got
Chris.
morals.
Okay,
I
okay,
wouldn't.
good to know.
I,
I didn't
I
know,
wouldn't.
man.
I
I'm just
wouldn't do
learning
that.
more about it.
I wouldn't do that to friends. But yeah, if it was like, for whatever other reason, if I got one, I would probably flip it. So yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
the Kansas in the
exciting.
house. We're talking about
Yo,
Chris's favorite person in the world, Gary V. Of course, we talk about Gary V every show, every day on this show. So we gotta talk about Gary V because Chris loves Gary V until he finally gets the allow list and sells instantly,
it,
instantly. But
it is kind of
it was a
ironic.
smart move after all.
I'll say it. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a special guest a little later. Do you have any other things you like to talk about before we get our guest up here?
I mean, this isn't really important. I'll bring them up probably later out the week. I have some Solana projects on my radar, and I'm gonna go.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, for real, for
God,
real.
this guy again.
And
He's here
I'll definitely play
again.
this week, but I'm gonna buy a little bit more Sol, and I'm gonna do my first Solana mint or at least flip this week. So keep you updated on that.
Well, what do you get in reptiles or beers? Beers is high now.
Yeah, Bears is high, Reptiles is high now, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll
But
bring those up
other
later.
than that,
Nothing really on my
okay.
radar for this week. I think we've been talking about it for a while. I think we have the Dominica mint coming up this week.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's this week, which hopefully it be even with this market. I mean, honestly, this market's not like obviously we're like really
it's
down,
not
but I
that
still,
bad.
yeah, it's not like mints. Some mints are still selling out. People are still making profit. I saw that you got the McLaren mint, right? Or did you buy the
Ah
secondary?
man, yeah, I secondary that one. Now, what people it was a hot topic this weekend with all the degens because it's only 2012 of them, so not that many supply. But the thing is that they might, it might seem like a cash grab. I'm not gonna lie, but you had to get an invite link to go mints. So not a lot of people got the invite link, but the secondary was less than mints. The mint was zero point 0.5, secondary was around 0.42, 0.44. So people were rolling the dice to get a GTR or get a rare because those were selling for much higher than the floor price. So what people were doing was just going for it. They were just minting at zero point 0.5, knowing that the floor was less than zero point 0.5. So that was kind of what all that was happening this whole weekend with DJs trying to get a good price. But it actually finally did sell out. I was waiting for that recovery bounce, and it happened. It went up to 0.53 ish, but now it's back down. It's
Yeah,
back down. We're just waiting for
yeah,
McLaren to say anything,
yeah.
anything at all, man. Please. They
Yeah,
said
just
they
do
have an
something.
AMA. Yeah, they have an AMA sometime this month. So who knows when it's gonna flip back up? But if this was a bull market, it'll fly. But right now, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The last time I checked, it was 0.42 ish floor. I bought at 0.44, but I did see that people were buying higher. They were buying the rares, which was always a good sign. When the collection sells out, you see people buy rares as opposed to buying floors. That means they're diamond handed. So we'll just see how it goes. I wanted a quick flip. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted 24 hours. I wanted to, but it's not happening. It's not
Gotta
happening.
take
But
time.
yeah. But something else I am looking forward to is Kaiju Kings. I told you last
Mhm.
episode about the game we played, about the scientist. You had to, type those letters. And I actually got a small sample. Some people got like a couple of small samples or large samples or I think medium samples. I got a small sample, the least rare of it all. I got one of those, but they were you could have sold that for 0.06, so that
Oh,
would have been a
cool.
quick flip
You
from
could have bought your not
if you
okay
wanted to.
beer.
That's not okay, Chris. but yeah, so you could have flipped that real quick from just 30 minutes of you typing words. You got zero point zero
That's cool.
0.06 Ethereum.
Yeah.
So that'd have been a
Heck
flip
yeah,
if
man.
you're not trying to hold. But they also have a mint coming up. That's I think it's tomorrow or next tomorrow. It's gonna be open for 48 hours, and it's gonna be open edition. Now the way it works, let me show my screen real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me go to window. All right, so I think this is it, right? Yep. So it's gonna be a public mint. This is a whole nerd nerd formula going on over here. So it's gonna be public mint. It's gonna be open for 48 hours, and if you pay a minimum of 0.06666 ETH, you receive perks. So it's gonna be a P2E game, but the more you pay, the rarer or the more perks you get. So
Interesting.
it's
Yeah,
kind
that
of pay
makes
to
sense.
win. It's free, but if you give them more money or more Ethereum, you get more perks. So, and they did the whole formula here. I tried to get into their Discord, but it's one of those capture that humans can't even solve type of thing. It was way too nerdy, so I couldn't get in there. But yeah, this is the whole how it's gonna go down. This is the rundown. If you want to do your, this is what the samples we got. I got a small sample. I didn't sell mine yet, but if you would have flipped it, it would have been free money right there. And yeah, so I just had to bring that to your attention because Kaiju Kings is pretty much it's a good project. A lot of people
Yeah,
are watching this project. So yeah,
I need to
I had
remember
to
that.
bring that up.
So that's a it's free mint for everybody, but if you wanted to pay more, you can get the extra perks.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So pay to win, pretty much.
sweet.
But
So no matter what, I'll be getting something. I don't know. I'm
yeah,
gonna go for the free or pay. Are you paying extra? Are you doing the 666 or
I don't
you
know,
just
man.
okay?
I don't know. I was looking at free, but we'll,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens, because it's gonna be open for 48 hours, open edition. So who knows how many is gonna get minted, and who knows what price is gonna be the rares. It's a lot to think about when you go into something like this. So I have to think about my strategy before I go into it. But I am definitely getting the free one. It's
yeah, absolutely.
free,
Yeah,
of
for sure.
course. But that's just all I wanted to bring to your attention. I might talk about it again tomorrow because it might be either tomorrow or the next day that it becomes open. The open edition opens for mint. So we'll just keep an eye on this because Kaiju Kings again is a good project in
Yep.
the space in Ethereum space. Soon, all we're going to be talking about is Solana.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
while we still have Ethereum on the docket, yeah, Kaiju Kings is a good project.
So we do got a special guest today.
Yes, we do.
As
Yes,
said
we
in
do.
the chat, let's pull them on up. Here
And
we
we have a
Pie
round of
Dog.
applause for
What's
Pie Dog.
up?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good man.
Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, Pie Dog. How you doing?
And well, on yourself, how's everyone doing?
Oh, we're doing good out here, man. So you're in South Africa, right? How's it over there?
Yes, yes, good. It's 20 past 10 here, so it's getting quite late. But other than that, everything's good. Weather's good. And you guys?
We're doing the weather has gotten better for me. It's a little hot, but it's a little hot. I'll say that. But Chris, how you doing?
Hot. It's like I think it's in the 80s over here, and I have to turn my AC off
Oof.
for the shows because my fan is too loud. So yeah, it's pretty
So you're
hot.
just melting there.
Yeah, yeah, just melting during the shows, but we're all good.
No, I
Oh,
think it's a bit
cool.
cooler by me. I'm still in my hoodie here while you guys are there sweating your.
Yeah, yeah. So if for everybody that doesn't know, Pie Dog is you're the founder of Alpha HQ, correct?
Yes, yes, that is
Oh,
correct.
cool. Before we get into that, how did you get into NFTs? Let's start. What's your background with NFTs?
So it all started. Well, I've been in crypto for about 8 years.
Eight
Dabbling around.
years. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. So I
You're you're
started at a
you're
young
super
age.
OG.
Yeah, no, I started very long ago. I mean, I was mining Litecoin on like my first job I ever had. I figured out how it worked, started mining on the GPU there and started mining Litecoin with my work PC just to dabble around and get understanding. Um, but yeah, that's how far back my crypto experience goes. But NFTs, I would say I started in, I think, late 2020 is when I decided to dive into NFTs when the DeFi boom happened, and then after the DeFi boom, it got a little bit boring. And I think that's kind of what always happens these days. As soon as crypto gets boring, everyone flows into the NFT market. So um,
Hmm.
yeah, so I'd see, just kind of try to expand myself a little bit and go see other things, and that's when I decided to dip into NFTs. And I mean, I haven't looked back. It's pretty much my main focus now, and DeFi is like a secondary thought. Yeah, after the NFT space now.
Oh, nice. So, tell us more. How'd you found Alpha HQ? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
So when I started NFTs, there was the idea that you know, as soon as a mint comes around, you this new little NFT goer that's trying to get a mint off a website, and your chances are so slim to manually do it these days.
Yeah, it's
So
botted heavy.
exactly. So you end up spending gas. You get frustrated. You end up feeling like it's you're wasting your time. You're like, I haven't actually been successful with the mint in so many tries. Like this is pointless. So you get a bit frustrated. So anyway, I have a bunch of friends that we've been playing games together. We've been mates for 15, 20 years. Um,
Mm.
and I decided, like, I brought them on. I introduced them. I think the first time was Sneaky Vampires. So Sneaky Vampires was
S-
doing
Sneaky
um,
vampires.
yeah, Sneaky Vampire Syndicate. So it was a
Sounds
raffle
very
going on.
familiar.
Yeah, I think the floor's taken a bit of beating now. I think it's about a point 0.3. Um, but
Okay.
they did very well. They did very well. So anyway, so I had a plan in my head, and it was I told all my mates. I said, please be online. I need you all to. So it was said there was going to be a capture. Like it was one of the first that made sure there was no botting. Um, and anyway, long story short, I convinced my friends to come on. And I said, if you guys get into this raffle, I'll give you the F, and then if you get the raffle, you can buy it, flip it, give me the F back, and you can keep the profit. Anyway, long story short, from me doing NFTs on my own, I managed to convince like six of my mates to join us. And we then started building tools for NFTs. The first one being a minting bot. And we used this minting bot, I would say maybe for about a year. And it was all command line. So super technical, like not very user friendly at all. And after a while, we thought to ourselves, let's instead of just 5, 6 of us using this minting bot, let's rather package it in a user friendly way and make a Web3 app actually with this product. And that's essentially what started Alpha HQ. So it was the minting bot was the start to it, and now it's of course grown to a sniping listing bot. We've got rarity tools, and we've got multi wallet and private key support in the works that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's a lot. So, you built all these tools or you had some help? Like, what's your technical background?
So it wasn't necessarily me that built it. So my like a group of friends. We all have, some
Hmm.
of us are developers. So, for instance, me, I'm actually an animator and a visual effects artist. So, I do all the marketing material, I do anything visual wise, all that type of stuff. But we actually have a very incredible dev. His name's Stebas, and he has got 16 years of development behind him. He's a bit of a wizard, I would say. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. And he's predominantly made all these tools alongside of us, and we've helped him test it, and we've kind of grown it together like that.
Mm. Oh, nice. And I was wondering, what's the relationship with MVHQ? Because I noticed Jake and Bake bought a few of these. A couple. I bought one of these, so I just haven't used it yet because the market has been so down. Uh, like, what's the connection with MVHQ?
Just to quickly go on that, you must pop into our Discord if you want. I know the market's been a little bit boring and stuff, but there has been quite a lot of success stories. You've got Oaks have got like Kumaverse. I mean, there's a few guys that got the Genesis mint yesterday, and Oaks are really, even in this market, people are managing to do mints and getting a free Alpha HQ pass from the profits. But to answer the MVHQ though, so I actually do quite a bit of work for MVHQ in terms of design work. So I have a good relationship with them, and they actually joined us as strategic partners to assist us with decision making, and then they kind of brought us under their wing to give us advice, um, and yeah, so that's pretty much where we go from there. But yeah, I do have a close connection with MVHQ people. We actually got our first success story was Meg Thorpe. We got
Yeah,
her
I've seen
in
that one.
at yeah, so that was quite a cool mint. I mean, there was so much. There was a lot of bot protection. You needed signatures. You needed a whole bunch. I think there was also a Merkle proof that we needed done. And then Steve S, the wizard, managed to actually sort and solve the Merkle tree and get the signature through their back end to be able to use the bot. And then she was actually the first person to mint as soon as the mint opened, because I don't think many other people had actually managed to pull that through.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I noticed, but there is a lot of a lot of tools being built. Is there what's the roadmap? Do like we're looking at the roadmaps right now, right on the screen? Like what would be the goal of Alpha HQ moving forward? Like you guys already built all these different tools. Like is there any thought of going into Solana or any other markets, or are you just gonna be 100% focused on Ethereum?
I like the design, by the way, of this. Did you do that? Like the
Yeah,
green being 100% and then having the gauges. That's really cool.
yeah, that was all me. Um, so what we have discussed is we want to get all our tools done and dusted. So as soon as those tools are done, then we will look at porting and going multi-chain. Of course, Solana being the first worthy chain to go to.
Not Avax or Cardano, because Chris is a huge Cardano maxi. It's a huge Cardano and
I
Avax and Palm Network
I own
and
zero
Cartoon
Cardano
Network.
NFTs.
So the one thing that we like to do is we give our community um, pretty much all the reins to vote for what we do. So as soon as we finish development, we then open up a vote and we say, what do you guys want? Do you want multi-wallet? Do you want floor sweepers? Do you want offer bots? And the community essentially then decides what they want. So what we currently have voted is the multi-wallet and private key support. And as soon as that happens, we will send a vote again to our community, and everyone gets to then decide where the tools go and essentially grow.
So the most recent success story is Genesis, because Chris was talking about that.
Oh yeah.
That
Well, yeah, I was out of town, this weekend, so I couldn't mint. Well, like I didn't even go for the pre-mint pass because of or the whatever it's called, the whitelist, because I knew I wasn't going to be in town. So what was the success story with that one?
So there were a few people in our channel that actually managed to mint. So one of the main ones, because as soon as someone gets a success, we just ask them to post it in our success channel. So there was some William Lowe. He managed to secure a mint. I think he was bathing as well. And that's the one thing nice. The nice thing about our contract minting bot is it's all automated. So you can literally set up all your parameters. You say watch, and then you pre-sign the transaction, and then you can leave your computer. And as soon as all the parameters are met, it fires straight to the it fires to the contract and gets
to the
everything done for you. Yeah.
so
So
it mints through the contract only, or it goes through the project website.
no, it goes straight through the contract. So what we need is as soon as we get the smart the contract address, that we pull that into our bot, and then it pulls all the parameters and information from there, and then you set the bot up through that. And as soon as your parameters or your prerequisites are met, then it fires it straight to the contract.
So hypothetically, I could have went out of town for the weekend still, but set it in advance and got back and have had it in my wallet if it hit my parameters.
Yes, definitely. So you would have
Ah,
you would have come home and had two of your NFTs sitting there waiting.
would have been nice.
Yeah, it would, huh?
Where were you
There was
last
actually
week?
there was actually someone that has a NFT, and they also just they haven't had the time to just look around and stuff, and they popped into the chat this morning, and they had a bit of remorse because they realized that people actually went to Genesis, and they were like they went and tried to do it through the website, and they ended up missing it because the website timer shows you one thing, it's delayed, it's not actually accurate compared to what's happening on the blockchain. So yeah, the guy that did join was a little bit upset, but at least he's realized, like don't don't fight the website. Just use the minting, the contract minting bot.
Okay. And so what about ledgers? Well, like do you need a hot wallet to use these bots, or is it possible to use a cold wallet?
Now you can use a ledger. You just have to approve the transactions on your ledger like you would with any transaction on your ledger. So you would watch the transaction, and then when you pre-sign the transaction, you just approve it on your ledger, and then you can go have a nap or do whatever you would do in your spare time.
Just like that, huh?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
come back and get your NFT.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. I thought it was only hot wallets only, but like, what does that bot need to do this? Does it need our some codes or passwords, or like what would this bot need from us to execute?
So the way the bot works is it actually runs on your browser. It's you're not installing anything. That's the things you want to stay away from. You don't want to install anything on your desktop. We don't want any extensions. Like a lot of people have Chrome extensions, but the problem with Chrome extensions is they run on top of OpenSea, and OpenSea is sluggish, and we all hate OpenSea actually. Um, so what this is, it's all it needs is you to connect your MetaMask to our app, and that's it. We don't need your private keys. We will be incorporating a private key. We will be incorporating private keys in the near future, but for the minting bot, it's not required. All you have to do is pre-sign a transaction, which is essentially allowing you kind of telling MetaMask, I'm okay with you to send this transaction when it's ready to be sent, and that's it. Yeah, and that's literally all you have to do. There's nothing else.
Okay, so it's currently one wallet per alpha pass, or can you have multiple wallets to
Uh,
mint with?
yeah, it's just one wallet. So that is the next feature will be multi-wallet support. So then the way we're looking at it is you have one NFT. You can set up. We haven't decided on the limit, but let's say you will have 5 wallets that you can connect to that. Um, and that will be your multi-wallet support. And those 5 wallets, you'll be able to disperse a certain amount of ETH to all of them, and then you'll be able to control all of them on a certain mint as well.
Okay, so why do you call it ETH? Let's start with that. Why do you call it?
I think it's a South
So-
African thing. Like our
oh,
twang, we've
is
got a bit of most
no,
people
it's
here
not
must
just
speak
you.
really.
I've seen Americans, mostly in Florida. They want to be. I say they want to be different, calling it ETH as an ether, as opposed to ETH as an ether. So we
Oh,
always have
Yeah.
that back
I
and
thought you were
forth.
in New York.
The people I argue with are
Oh, you just
are
talked to a
Florida.
bunch of people in Florida.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they always go with ETH, and they always call it ETH because they called me gutter.eth a lot. They was calling me gutter.eth or .eth. I was like, why ETH? So we always have that back and forth, and yeah, it's just crazy to hear you call it ETH. Who else called it ETH here, Chris? Was
I
it
don't know, but I
Sniper
should
Bot?
I should ask some people while I was in Florida this weekend. I should have been like, "Hey, how do you pronounce it?"
So
You should
I call it
have.
Ethereum. So I think that's where the ETH comes from. But I actually have read about a lot of people
Ethereum.
saying that. Yeah, I call it Ethereum. So then I just go ETH.
That makes
But
sense.
I've read a lot of stuff that everyone says that it is actually pronounced ETH, like teeth. But I've
Ether,
just always called.
yes.
Yeah, I've just always called it Ethereum. So I'm like ETH.
I mean, you're South Africa. You could get away with that. So it's
Yeah,
cool that you call it ETH.
it's my accent.
Yeah, blame it on the accent.
Yeah, works
And
for me.
people out here, they just want to call it ETH as in ether was ether. The creator, the founders calls it ETH. So I don't know why we
Yeah.
we call it something else, but it was
You
just
might know
I
a
just
bit
had
more
to
than
point
us.
that out.
So I haven't watched this yet. Did you want to play the promo video for people that haven't seen it, or I guess are they getting enough out of this? Here, let me. How long is it? Just 30 seconds. You won't be able to hear it.
The audio that makes it exciting.
I know, right? Chris doesn't know this.
Wait, what's that?
It's audio required.
The audio
Stand
is
by,
really nice.
automate the way. Easier. Alpha, rarity. Floor sweeper. Alpha.
Alpha.
Alpha. Was that what it was saying, Chris? Did I get it right or no?
You went with the beat. To be honest, I was feeling it.
Did I?
Yeah, it
Oh,
sounded like
Yeah, the
it.
audio that's what made it for me.
I will say you missed out. The audience missed out on not hearing that audio. If you want to hear the audio, go to this. What is a pheasant? Go to www. What is it even?
It's
So,
alphahq.io.
Alpha HQ.
see
But
what is
yeah.
a pheasant?
That was nice.
Uh,
Yeah, that was my that
but
was on my search history. I was looking at the Flora V Friends Series 2 last night, and there is a something pheasant. I forgot the name they used for it.
wait, do you have tattoos, Chris?
Yeah,
Hmm?
I got it. I
Uh,
do.
how many Gary V tattoos do you have?
Right now,
Or
no.
are you planning on getting after after this summer?
Maybe if I buy, you know what? If I buy a Series 2 and it ever hits like a 10 ETH floor, I'll get a tattoo of it.
Well, 10th floor, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
why not?
I
Why
had to
not?
set the bar high. That way, if it came to fruition, I
Okay.
didn't have to, the bar is
I'll hold
set.
you to that.
The bar is
FYI. Yeah.
okay. The
What?
bar is
Only
set.
if you
I want
buy or
I
if
want him.
you don't buy.
Oh, if I buy, I will buy. But if I buy and it hits the 10th floor, whatever I buy, I will get a tattoo of.
I will hold you to that, Chris. This is a recording. I will hold you to that, Chris.
I gotta make sure to
But
buy something that I resonate with.
well, okay, Pie Dog. So, what has been your biggest win so far in NFT space? Like, what, do you have any long holds?
I'll be honest, I don't like holding things very long. The only thing I do hold long is actually Ether Orcs. That's probably been my biggest win.
Hmm.
Is I got in really early, and I've just been growing my horde army from the beginning. Everything else, I just feel like I missed those early stages of like the blue chip gang that kind of was initiated. So like the bored apes, the cool cats, all those type of
The
things.
Gutter
I missed out on.
Cats.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can call it that. Yeah, so I do risk less, so I like to hold on to things and take profits. I think I've learned that because I've been in crypto for so long to like not fall in love with a bag or an NFT.
Hmm.
So I like getting in and out. I don't mind holding things for a while, but you know, nothing's nothing's getting held in my bag for too long.
What's too long to you? Like, what amount of time?
I think the longest thing, and I think this is probably what scarred me, was I bought about 11 ETH worth of, you see, I said ETH there, 11 ETH worth of times NFTs. And I think I flipped that
Okay.
for about 2 ETH.
Oh,
And that was probably my longest hold.
Yee.
that hurts.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah, exactly. But actually, thankfully, that was my early days of NFT trading. And I made it back. I did. That's the one thing I always say is with like my mates that when we doing NFTs is if something does happen in a bad way, like, don't give up, don't get upset, don't feel like well, I've just taken a big loss, I'm out. It should actually give you this like burning sensation that you actually want to make sure that you make that money back. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, long story short is that was my biggest loss, I would say, but I have made it back thankfully from flipping everything else. I'm trying to think now what my biggest wins are. But like I said, it's usually like a 1 or 2 ETH trades here and there. I don't hold them for long because also the market's just so fragile and it's still so early with not a
Yeah.
lot of liquidity that a small pump or a small dump can actually affect um, a, a floor so much. So what I like to do is always constantly have like powder on the side for if something does happen, then I like
You
to
said
buy up.
powder on the side?
Yeah, like fresh ETH, just like waiting to
Yeah,
be
I know what
thrown
you
in.
mean, but I've never heard that powder on the side before. I thought
Yeah,
he was on coke or something.
that's a common reference.
I'm like, hang on.
Got powder on the side real quick. But yeah, I've never heard that. Chris, you've heard that before?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
What do you need powder for?
It's just a phrase, like getting ready
On
just
this,
in case something
okay,
happens.
all right, let's get to the root of this, man. This just got interesting.
Oh,
Let's get to
what's
the
the
root
origin
of
of
this
it?
catchphrase. Yes, yes. What do you need powder for, and why is it on the side, Chris?
I don't know. I don't know the origin of it. It's a common phrase.
I'm trying to figure it out. Why, like, out of everything, why is powder on the side, and why do you need it?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also it's been a term a lot of people I know use. They say make sure you got powder on the side. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, powder on the
maybe
side.
maybe where it originated from was a little bit devious,
Coke?
but yeah, well, fairly certain that's where it comes from.
Like baby powder? What? Like I'm confused, Chris.
Yeah,
But
I wish I could.
yeah,
give
I've
you
never
an
heard about
insight.
it. That's why.
That's what I feel. Okay, the first thing I found is kind of what my assumption was, talking about the 17th century when military battles were fought with guns and cannons that utilized gunpowder in combat. In order to remain effective, the gunpowder had to be kept dry, so like dry powder. That's usually what they say with it. Like that would have
Air
been my
horn on
guess
that
too,
one.
for the record.
What if? Nah, it's too late. You had your chance to guess. You can't read what it is, then say that would have been my guess too. That was.
Hey.
I thought it was Coke,
I know,
but that makes
I know what I was
perfect
thinking.
sense.
Coke was in the back of my head too.
Yeah, that was my first go-to.
Yeah, but that makes perfect sense. Powder on the side. Okay, thank you for letting us know about your powders on the side. So
I completely get what you mean too about like not holding things too long, man. I've been burnt in stocks and crypto and in NFTs hard by not taking profits. I mean, I watched 60K turn to 10K like in a month.
Jeez,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was tough, dude. But I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta take profits. Lesson learned.
exactly.
yeah.
That's and I am very the way I play the game is I'm very skittish about everything because I mean I've been burnt as well. I mean the 2017 bull run, I was handing in resignation letters, not giving a shit about anything. And then within a month, I was going to apologize to my boss. Like, actually, do you take 2 sugars with your coffee? Um, so it was,
Yeah.
Did you went back and handed in the resignation letters this year though?
yeah. No, I still work for myself at least, and hopefully, I can continue to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I always say, is I play a very skittish game. I in and out quickly make profits, and like I say, in these markets now, where these huge dips happen, a lot of people get scared. And in these last few trades, I actually made. I mean, in the last few, like maybe like a week or so, I've actually made really good trades. That has covered my losses that have happened over the last week. The dips
like
happen, but I've
like which ones?
Yeah, tell us
so
about it.
so Luna, of course, I didn't hold Luna
Oh,
anymore.
you was in Luna?
No, I wasn't holding any Luna, thankfully, but I was watching it closely. I held UST, which was a bit of
Yeah.
a train smash, but luckily I got it at 90 cents, so I took a 10% loss. Um,
Nice.
but then I watched the Luna charts very closely. I do a lot of charting. I watch that type of thing, and I noticed that as soon as that hit about $1, I put quite a bit of my cash in that I just sold into Luna and watched it very closely, and it actually went up to $5. So it did like a
Hmm.
5x within
I
two
watched
hours.
that bump. Yeah, we were live
So,
during that. We were live
oh
from
really?
the jump from 1 to 3, and then it touched 5 and never came back.
Oh
Or it
yeah,
touched 5, went down, and never came up.
yeah, 100%. So I was in, and as soon as it got to about 3.5, 3.6, I sold half. So I had all my money out, and it didn't really matter. And then I was watching it, and I saw it at 5.5, and then I just saw this huge wick down, and I was like, no,
Mm.
I'm out. This is me. So I made good profits there. Other NFT trades that I did was PXN pre-reveal and other side. Well, it is the other deed for other side. Yeah.
Oh, the
So I mean
deeds,
that
yeah.
dipped. Yeah. So I picked up a nice cheap other deed. I think I got it for 2.6. I don't know if you guys use Gem. It's a nice way to just
Yes, Gem XYZ. Yes, we do.
yeah, it's always nice to just see the floor on all of the exchanges. So I think I picked it off that 2Y XY, picked up a nice little below floor, and then as soon as the markets recovered, it pumped back to 3 ETH. And like I said, I'm not here to hold, sold that off, and then I'm trying to think now. The PXN, I think I bought. Yeah, yes,
You said you did pick it up on Gem XYZ.
yeah. I
Nice,
did pick it
nice.
up there, and then for PXNs, I picked up I think three at about 3 ETH, and then we pumped up as soon as the I think it was a bit of a combination of both. As soon as the markets pumped, it also kicked back up to about 3.6, 3.7, and then pre-reveal, things started getting crazy, and I went up to 5. So I sold 2 off, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Nice.
actually the one I sold was a rank 183. So, but
Ooh, but
whatever.
still, yeah, still
Eyes
good.
forward, profit. Don't get upset
Yeah.
about something and you've made money.
Mm.
And then then I kept one post reveal, which in hindsight I usually never do, but I think it would have been a better play if PXN didn't decide to just incorporate like IP of
Everything
every anime,
that ever
usually
existed, yeah.
yeah. Like I'm surprised there wasn't like a Barack Obama NFT that just popped up in Mazel. Like it just that didn't make sense to me. But anyway, I still hold that
Yeah.
one.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we can see a bit of kick up, but like I said, I don't hold for long. As soon as I can get out at even break even, I'll get out and move on to the next thing.
When you were listing, this is
Mm.
just a random question because I'm just now getting into other platforms. When you were selling, did you do a lot of it via OpenSea or did you do a lot of it on like LooksRare or Gem XYZ?
So I do it all through OpenSea, but I do want to start doing it because it just also removes um, that fee that you get nothing back for. So I mean, you can get a nice kickback for listing on other platforms. My
Oh, looks
biggest thing
rare,
is
yeah.
my biggest thing is just the volume's not really there, so you do have to list a little bit lower than the floor to get eyes on it. So, I mean, if you could be a bit smart, you can probably pump it a bit up, so you do end up coming out with a bit of profit, opposed to going open sea. So, I have thought about it. I think I must just be less lazy and do it actually.
Yeah,
Nice.
especially if you're trying to sell on the floor, if it's a trending NFT, you if you list it on any Luxrare for one, you get Lux tokens for just listing it. So you get
Yeah,
paid. Like I don't know the intervals if it's minutes or hours, but you get paid consistently until it sells. Obviously, now if you don't want to sell it, then I don't. You wouldn't want to go list it on floor on Luxury, but only if you're willing. If you're trying to sell, you might as well,
yeah.
right? That's
I
Speaking
what
of
I.
know.
which, the V Friend Series 2 is on there, Ken. You might want to, if you want to list both of yours to get the listing bonus.
I know you can list it
I'm not trying to
1.5
sell
times
though.
the floor.
Well,
So
you,
if
you
you
can
list
list it
one,
over floor.
yeah, if you list it 1.5 times the floor, you still get the rewards. But as long as you don't have like a rare, you should be fine. I don't think it'll get sniped.
Yeah, I don't have a rare, that's for sure. But I'm long. I don't. That I gotta pause what I was about to say. I was gonna say I'm long Gary V. So that's a pause on that one. But I didn't. I don't expect to sell it anytime soon. Uh, that's why I still have it. I already sold all my book games, so I made all my money. All every single investment I've already made back from Gary V. So I'm just riding with these two V2s, see how high it goes. And now I don't think it's touched all time high yet. Personally, it's not financial advice, so we'll just see how long it's gonna take for it to get there. I don't maybe 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. I really don't know, but I'm down for the ride though. As soon as it hits 3 or 4, that's my exit. But who knows how long it's gonna take to get there. But I also want to ask you this though, since you've brought a lot of your friends into the space, how do you console them at times like these? Like we're in a deep bear market. It seems that we're in a deep bear market right now. Like, how do you console people that you brought into this? That you might have brought them in by advertising how much they'll be making from this space, and then everything goes south. Like, how would you console them at this time?
So what I've told my friends is, to be completely honest, is this is where you make your money. Don't get bored now. Don't give up, because don't be that person that comes back in 2 3 years. I mean, I'm just using that number as an example. When things are exciting and hyped, and the prices are already 5 6 7 times the amount they were during a bear market. So
Mm-hmm.
eyes forward and just keep doing what you've been doing, and you know try and enjoy yourself, because you know this is where the real money's made. And this goes for crypto and for NFTs. I mean, NFTs are still quite high. You're still looking at you know really high floors, but you don't know where a long extended bear market could take us. So this is talking for now, and in maybe 6 months to a year, if things are super boring, super scary, the market's dry, if you just keep going, there's a saying they say that time in the market is better than timing the market, which essentially just means that if you're just constant in the
Mm.
market, you're going to be fine, because there's going to be another pump at some stage. But if you're trying to buy the high and sell the low, you could miss those a lot of the time. And if you do miss them, you get bored and you leave. And like it is with everything, everyone comes back like, oh, I'm not buying Bitcoin at 30K. Like, that's way too low. But as soon as Bitcoin hits 70K, like every single Tom, Dick, and Harry
Yeah.
is like, where do I sign up? I'm amped to buy some Bitcoin. Don't be that person. So that's essentially what I tell my friends is, just keep going. Don't be bored. We're all here together, and we like, it's an enjoyable experience. There's still money to be made, especially in bear markets. There's actually, as long as you play it and you use the fear and understand that there is fear, and you use that against, like, you use it for your better, like for your good, then you can also make
Mhm.
cash and go from there. But yeah, don't get bored. Just stay in the NFT space, stay in the crypto space, and it'll pay off.
That's great
Oh,
advice. I have a question for a Trio OG 27. How long did you say? When did you get into crypto?
Who, me?
like eight
Sorry.
years
Yeah,
ago.
eight
Yeah,
years
about
ago.
8 years ago. I'm looking at
Okay,
it. Yeah, I would say about 2014 is when I started dabbling in it.
awesome. So I wasn't here during the 2017 crash, so I don't really have room to speak about it. I've always felt this way, but I heard somebody much smarter than me say this the other day, and so it kind of gave me some good affirmation. I'd want to know your thoughts on it. Obviously anything is possible, but like do you think there's a strong chance that we'll actually see a 2017 crash again? Or do you think with the adoption that we have now versus the adoption that we had in 2017, we're talking more of like a 60 to 70% crash opposed to like a 90% crash? You know, like do you think the severity level is still going to be there? And like, is there a good chance for that? Or do you think it's going to be a little bit less than a lot of times people are like, we're going to basically expecting that 2017 crash again. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really asking you,
So
is it possible, but I'm asking you, do you think that it's going to happen?
no, I hear you, and I've been asked this quite a bit, and of course, no one has a crystal ball. But what I truly believe is that there is a shit ton more. I'm sure I'm allowed to swear. A shit ton more liquidity in the market at the moment. So having a 90% drawdown from Bitcoin's all-time high, I think, is a lot less likely than in 2017. You know, and yeah, that can definitely happen in altcoins, and I do think it will happen in altcoins. We will still see. I mean, we've all seen it with Luna, that 99% is not out of the um, you know out of the options there. But even if we look at a lot of the coins already, we've already seen like 70-80% drop downs. um,
Yeah, we
so,
have.
so I do think that it's still possible with altcoins because the liquidity isn't there. But for the bigger coins like ETH and Bitcoin, I don't think we'll see such a large drop. We might see a quick capitulation down to the 200 weekly EMAs, but that's about it. Like, I don't think we'll see that because, I mean, Luna, the LFG, the Luna Reserve Group, whatever it's called, the defense group of Luna, that they sold 80,000 Bitcoin during that crash, and Bitcoin is
Mm.
it handled it. Like, that just shows the liquidity that Bitcoin can actually consume. At 80K Bitcoin sell off, and Bitcoin's like, sweet, we still at 30K, guys. Like, we're doing good. Like, that just shows that things are different. You know.
Super good point.
Yeah. So I want to talk more about like tell me more about the Alpha Colors and Alpha HQ. Like, how do you guys go into partnerships with other projects? How do you evaluate different projects to see if they hit different criterias? What criterias do you look for? Like, tell me a little bit more about that process.
So, with regards to finding good projects, it mainly comes from experience and understanding, and uh, especially the NFT world it's based on the perception of what people like in an NFT. So, because I've been in the visual effects industry for nearly 10 years, I can actually, what I like to do is, not only do you look at your team, got to look at your hype, you've got to look at a multitude of things, but being able to predict if a floor is going to hold due to the sneak peeks is something that I pretty much can call from the get go. Like, you know, looking through, do all the comments look the same? And understanding that if you've got a 10K project and 9,500 of them all look the same, there's a good chance everyone's going to dump the floor and you're going to get smashed. But stuff like Azuki, I remember looking at Azuki sneak peeks and being like, this, like, okay, I know what's happened to Azuki and all the news and stuff, but the artwork is honestly incredible. Like, if you go through and you scroll through Azuki sneak peeks, and even on OpenSea now, things don't look like a common. You know, each single base of the NFT feels like it's a completely new character. You don't be like, oh, okay, I can see how they built that with those traits, and those are the same traits, and all those type of things.
Mhm.
Um, so I think uh, choosing projects comes from experience. Also, being in other alpha groups is, of course, like a complete win. So being in a multitude of alpha groups, understanding what the guys are talking about, and saying, okay, this is big, this is big, this is big, and then from that, not just accepting what people say, of course, but also doing that extra homework and going to look and being like, okay, cool, guys, this is good, but I would sell pre-reveal, because the artwork, people are so hyped they don't actually realize that they're about to get revealed with the biggest pieces of shit ever. Like, there might be 50 or so great ones that sell before pre-reveal.
Yes. Me personally, I kind of like the PXN artwork, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's unfortunate they stole so many, references from different all the animes in the world. But I kind of like the artwork, man. It looks kind of dope to me, anyways. But
Yeah,
again, the IP issue
agreed.
is kind of an issue.
I mean, that's why I held past reveal, because I went through all the sneak peeks, and it's quality. Like, the comments look good. Like I would be happy with the
Yeah.
comment, you know. So I mean, that's why I was super bullish on PXN. Like I held past pre-reveal. I mean, I held past reveal, and that really doesn't happen. Like one out of every 50 projects, I'll go past reveal. Usually, I'll sell reveal and then pick up in a dip and then wait for the floor to recover and then sell again. You know, so PXN was one of them, and I mean, I really like PXN. I like their vision. They're not just a like Alpha, for instance. Sorry, I don't want to push Alpha HQ in here, but Alpha HQ is not just it's not a profile picture. There's utility behind it. It's not just okay. I've got a picture. That's cool. That's it. You know, PXN is also not just like that. I mean, they're creating a web app, a marketplace. There's just so much more. There's also white boxes that are coming. There's a whole bunch of unannounced things. So not only is the artwork great, but there's this huge roadmap that's super exciting to have it. So, I mean, if I'm going to hold anything, I don't mind holding a PXN.
Right now or before you found out they stole everything?
Even right now, like, I
Right
mean,
now, okay.
the floor dumped, you know, and that is what it is. But they were quick. They sorted out the issue, and they fixed their mess up within. I think they released a Medium article within like half an hour of the FUD that just spread
Mm.
around. So that just shows that it's like the team behind it is good, you know. So like I said, I have a PXN and I'm happy to hold it. I'm in no rush to sell it at a loss because I feel like there is news that will come out that will get people hyped again. And if I need to sell out, I will have a pump to to exit out. But I don't even know if I would need to because it is just a really exciting project that they have.
So you have no problems with the IP issues?
No.
You
So
don't think
I mean,
that'll hinder
that
them
was wrong.
anyway in the future?
I don't think in the future. I think it was a small speed bump that has
Okay.
caused an issue. And I mean, we can see by the floor. The floor took a massive dump. There was an Amber Heard that happened straight up on the floor, and you
You
know,
just got an
it's
Amber Heard?
yeah, it
Ah,
shut the
shit.
bed.
Oh, hold on, man. That's an air horn. He caught an Amber Heard on the floor. Okay. Yeah, so you
So
think it's over? Their worries is over, that IP issue is not gonna bite them in the ass in the future anytime?
no, I don't think so. I mean, these guys have so much money. They got the nanoverse. These folks have got lawyers. They've got everything around. I think they realized that they messed up. That's why they replaced all the art with blank
Oh, they replaced
placeholders.
it?
Yeah. As soon as it came out, they said
Oh.
there was 19 of them. They said we will remove all 19 and we'll be updating the artwork to just placeholders for now. Then they created 19 new legendary pictures, and everyone that held one of those also got 10 ETH for their like they're saying sorry.
Oh.
They're like we fucked up. Fuck off
Oh,
that. That's
okay.
10 ETH. You know.
That's
So
a
they
good
were quick.
apology.
Yeah, I was like, I'll fucking take that. You know, like pass me the 10 ETH. I'd be happy that I just let go of one of my my legendary anime ones. So I think they handled it well, and the floor seems to have settled. You know.
Do you think they handled it better than Zagabond with Azuki's? Or do you
Yeah, just barely. I mean, that was what still blows my mind is that the Zuki floor is actually holding even after all of that, and like he was pretty much
yeah.
like, guys, I rugged three. Literally, I rugged three of projects before you, and he's like, it was just a test. Like it was just a test. It's fine. And Zukis are still buying, and that's crazy to me. But um, it is what it is. It just shows that there's loyalty in this space far beyond than common sense might take you.
So so you would think it would be common sense for it to, go down like it was, but then it's not really so common for it to build right back up. But the same guy saying he's not gonna step down, he's gonna step up. Actually, according to Chris, he said he was gonna step up, and it's
Yeah.
the price went up. Like it, it went up.
That's one thing I don't understand. I don't get why the community responded like well to it. Like people were sweeping the floor when the dip was happening. Yeah, I mean sometimes I try to understand everything that's happening, but that just didn't make sense to me at all. It still doesn't. It still doesn't. Like
You think it's gonna hold?
I will honestly be on like I don't even want to give my advice on it because I thought it was going to just be a slow death of Azuki. But and like I said,
Me too.
I flipped my Azuki. I bought it at 3 ETH and then sold it at 6, and I was like, "This is great." And then I went to 30, and you have that like deep feeling in your heart. You're like, "I need to be happy for profits, but I can't be that happy." but yeah, so I'll be honest, the Zuki like fiasco, I still can't believe that the price recovered and is holding. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why.
Yeah, neither do we, man.
I saw
Neither do we.
a similar apology from God. I already forgot his name. The Luna guy.
Duquan?
Qual. Qual.
Yeah, stable
Qual.
Quanto Quan.
Daquan,
Duquan.
Daquan, yeah.
Yeah,
He had one of those Zagabond apologies today, and it was so generic. It was like all the things that people that want to rug you would say. It was like we're gonna build. We're all about community, and we're better than the others.
we're
And I just
building.
yeah, they're building, and I was just like, it's the same dude that just talked trash about everybody saying, "Hey, there's
Being
a
poor?
problem in the system," and he's like, "Oh, they're just poor. They don't know what they're saying," and and then this happens, like, and then you see like Luna like kind of bump a little bit with like people trying to like save their bags, but I don't know if the space is that forgiving, or really at the end of the day it's like a psychology thing to where like some people are like, okay, I think some people are gonna accept this apology, so I'm gonna put more volume in so that I can trade off of their volume, and like dump my bags on them. I
Yeah,
don't know. Surely not everyone can be like, oh, that was a good apology. I'm back in it. I don't know.
but yeah, I also
Yeah.
feel like some people think that, when I speak to a lot of new people, they think, okay, Luna can go back to $120 because it
Oh my
was there,
god.
but then that no one really understands that the supply has like gone parabolic, so it's impossible to go back to where it was.
Over
You
seven
know,
trillion.
yeah, exactly.
7 trillion?
I
No,
believe that was the
nothing.
last number
Yikes.
that I saw. It was like 7.6 trillion.
Yeah,
Oh
Now,
so
my
nothing like
granted,
god.
that.
I think those that would defend it are going to say, well, they're going to burn X amount, but there's just a lot more to it than that. So I think what they're trying to do now is fork, and we'll see what can happen out of that. We'll see how many people will actually trust anything they do after this. I don't know, but
No.
Mm.
The crypto space is very unforgiving. I mean, I was in Titan Finance, which is pretty much very similar to Luna, and I think there's about like 12 zeros after the zero. So it's like
I think
that's and it was just a stable coin.
what was the
There's
token
12 zeros
ID?
after the
Not the
zero.
ID. What was the token called for that? Was it just called Titan?
Yeah, so I'll tell you now. It was Titan. It was iron titanium token, which was Titan. Yeah, so it was literally just called Titan. It's 0,000000000
Just
FX.
don't add them up. Stop
That's
talking
the
about the
truth.
zeros,
Let me
Fine.
see. That's
You
amazing.
talk about how many zeros. Nice counting them.
Yeah,
Zero,
yeah,
zero, zero, zero,
yeah.
zero, zero, zero,
We
zero,
got eight
zero.
zeros now. Yeah.
It was iron titanium.
Yes, yes. Iron and Titan. Iron was kind of like the Luna, and Titan was the UST. And the same thing
Okay.
happened. Bank run shit went crazy, and Mark Cuban was actually in it, and he posted on Twitter like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, that's
crazy."
when Cuban got wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think I bought the day
yeah.
before. I was like, sweet, this is nice, let's buy. And then I woke up and I was like, fuck it, could I have timed it better? Literally.
Mm.
I think I bought it during the bank run. I was like, oh, it's dipping. Goodbye.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
knowing that happened with the Titans, like you actually got into Luna, like knowing that this is the exact copy of what already happened with Titan, or did you
So
see it differently?
So I didn't buy Luna. I just held
Oh,
UST,
okay.
and the reason I held UST was because there was a lot more collateral behind it, but clearly not enough. So I mean, and I watched it closely for that exact reason. It was 20% interest, which in the long run is actually
Yeah.
not worth the risk, but um, it was worth getting in. I mean, Titan was probably a top 200 coin versus UST and Luna being a top 10 coin. So I just thought, there was a bit of a
Okay.
better chance of something happening, but still watching it with bated breath. And then that one day when I saw the deep pegging, I was like, no, I'm out. Like I'm getting flashbacks to Titan, woke up with cold sweats and I was like, I'm selling. I'm out. I don't know what's going on. And luckily I did because
Did you have a lot in
Smart move.
UST?
so because I kind of knew we were going to like a bit of a bearish market. I held everything. I would say like 80% of my portfolio was in stables and that was all in UST.
Oh
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, even that
Oh
10% was pretty
shit.
damaging. Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Man,
But
I'm
luckily, I
sorry.
made the 10%. I made the 10% back with that Luna trade when I bought in at $1, sold at 3 and 5. So I came out square. But holy shit, it was
Dude, everybody
rough. It was on.
everybody hates on him, and Ken always gets on to me for like praising him. But honestly, Becker gave me a great ping for that. Like Becker was like at like when it was 0.97, he pointed out the depegging on Twitter. And so that's when I first noticed it. And Becker pulled out. He had 7 figures in UST. And at like 0.97 or something like that, like earlier in that week. It was right after I always forget the dude's name, Cole. It was like right after he posted that like really snarky tweet that like if you're running any business, you should not tweet like that. And he pulled, and it was a good warning though for sure.
Well, yeah. Is there? I think we're kind of running long on the interview now. Do you have any other questions, Chris, for our
No, I
guests?
think that's it. Yeah, we're at the hour now. Pie Dog, thank you for your time.
No, thank you
Everybody
guys.
who watched this, definitely go check out Alpha HQ. I'm definitely gonna look more into it myself. This is the first time I've really, Ken pointed it out on the show, but this is my first time I really saw everything about it. So I'm pretty excited to look more into it. And it was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, guys, thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me on here. It was really cool just to come and chat and tell you all about Alpha HQ.
A little soft clap.
Round of
Everybody,
applause for you.
Everybody who
Round of
watched, thank you
applause
so
for
much for
you.
watching. You'll see it in the outro, but this is brought to you by Ninjalerts. Allows you to track your favorite whales and influencers with just one click. To get Ninjalerts, you go to ninjalerts.com with 1A. You can buy the NFT, then join the Discord to find out more. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Goodbye, everybody.
So, you guys,